Welcome to this edition of NECA News Update. It's being called the Trump wave. Former President Donald Trump flipped all 7 swing states, won the most votes of any Republican presidential candidate in history, and will be sworn into office on January 20th, 2025 as the nation's 47th president of the United States. Our NECA Government Affairs team breaks down the numbers behind this surprising performance and what it means for the electrical industry moving forward.
This wasn't just about flipping battlegrounds. Nearly 90% of counties shifted in President-elect Trump's favor, a seismic political shift fueled by voter dissatisfaction with the economy and other policies. Trump expanded the map in Democratic strongholds like California, New York, and New Jersey by over 11 points, and in solid Republican states expanded his margins further, adding 6 points in Alabama, 7 in Idaho, and 8 in Tennessee. According to exit polling conducted through the AP Vocast survey, 63% of voters rated the economy as poor or not good, 70% said the country is on the wrong track, and Trump carried voters focused on the economy and immigration by wide margins.
For Democrats, Vice President Harris faced steep challenges. She lost ground among key Democratic constituencies, including younger voters and voters of color. Harris won black voters by 66 points, far below Biden's 81-point margin in 2020. Women and college-educated white voters, 2 critical groups for Democrats, also broke less decisively for Harris compared to past elections. At the end of the day, Trump capitalized on a political environment dominated by economic anxiety and dissatisfaction with current leadership. His ability to turn out low-propensity voters and cut into the Democratic base secured his victory. In Congress, Republicans are celebrating a new Senate majority after flipping 4 seats, including pivotal wins in Pennsylvania and Ohio. But in the House, the fight for control is very thin, with Republicans holding the majority 220 to 215.
Despite Trump's strong coattails, several Senate candidates he backed underperformed, showcasing the return of ticket splitting in states like Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona. This election reshaped the political map, but also highlights a growing evolution within both parties. For Democrats, the challenge will be rebuilding their coalition. For Republicans, it's about turning this momentum and delivering for new swaths of voters that swept the GOP in full control of Washington for the next 2 years.
Marco and James breaking down the election turnout for us, but here's how the new Washington will be heavily focused on policy issues that will affect NECA contractors for decades to come.
First and foremost, it will be tax reform and addressing the coming expiration of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which President Trump signed into law in 2017. There are so many critical items our contractors need addressed when Congress takes up tax reform. Corporate rates for both C and S corporations, estate tax, the state and local tax deduction, research and development tax credits, and not to mention the many tax incentives included in the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act.
There will be other critical items for this next Congress and President Trump, including permitting reform, energy policy, a new highway bill, and possibly some healthcare fixes as well.
A historic night with big implications for the future of the electrical industry and our country. For more information on NECA's advocacy efforts, please visit our website at www.necanet.org/topics. Directly related to the new Washington, President-elect Trump nominated 2 NECA-supported members of Congress for critical cabinet posts that directly impact the electrical contracting industry. Representative Lori Chavez DeRemer of Oregon for Secretary of the U.S. Department of Labor, and former Representative Sean Duffy of Wisconsin as the U.S. Secretary of Transportation. NECA issued statements of support for both nominees. For those full statements from NECA CEO David Long on these nominations, head over to necanet.org/news-media. Thanks for tuning into this edition of NECA News Update. We'll see you next time.